The fire completely spread on my body, but strangely, it didn't burn me or harmed me. It was occupying my whole being, as if the fire and me, we both were a part of each other. Wow. Then I realized that I was floating because I couldn't feel the ground beneath my feet. None of this was normal, but it felt right. A white light blinded me, and I screamed because I was out here alone. What if I'm losing control? The white light wound around me as if it was like an ethereal, mystical ribbon holding me together with the fire. Slowly, the flames on my body turned blue in color. It feels like that I have found a part of myself. I feel content. I feel complete. The light that was making me float in air and bounded me with fire. Later, it seemed to explode, and much like a gust of wind, it left as quickly as it came. And I landed back onto the ground safely. I looked around and realized that the body of the buck was turned into ashes. What just happened? Oh my God. Did I really do that? Does it mean that I really am that person? I should ask the elders tomorrow about it. With that, I changed and returned back quietly. After a long time, I feel happy. Like really happy. And with that happiness in my mind, I drifted off to sleep quickly this time. Next morning. The sunlight creeping through the window was excruciating even through the closed eyes. Images from previous night's events passed through my mind like a film, and I could feel a wide grin forming across my face. I slammed my eyes open, squinting through the shock that sun gave my eyes. I looked at myself and realized that now my hairs are permanently fire ombre red in them. I hope it looks good on me, because I love the natural color of my hair more. As much as I wanted answers, I desperately needed a shower too. So I grabbed my clothes from the cupboard and hopped into the shower. After adjusting its temperature, my stomach was happy after my last night's little adventure, confident that I was squeaky clean. I stepped out of the shower and wrapped the towel around my body. I wiped the fog from the black framed mirror and looked at my own reflection. Something was different. My features look more polished, as if I was wearing a coat of foundation on my skin. My eye's color has turned into translucent gray with the ring of sapphire blue circling my pupil. Wow, I'll have pretty eyes. I am really liking this version of myself. Me too, Rhea chimed, wagging her tail, and I laughed. As my mind was undergoing over all the changes that my body has undergone, I started brushing my teeth and completed rest of my business as soon as possible. Okay, no blood. Check. Fresh breath. Check. Dirty clothes. There are none. I think now I am good to go. I never cared about being fashionable if I was comfortable, so I settled on a pair of black capri leggings and a white t-shirt. I replaced the towel on the chrome rack and proceeded to wriggle myself into my white bra and matching lace hipsters. I put on my comfortable clothes, and voila, almost done. There was a toothbrush I found on the sink counter and decided to use it. Something red suddenly got the corner of my eye when I set the brush back down. Did I miss some blood? As I examined my left hand further, I could see that it was a tattoo of some sort. It looked like two red interwoven lines of barbed wire that wrapped around my wrist. Great, one more thing that I have to ask. When I opened the door, Damon was sitting on the freshly made bed waiting for me. Shit, he said, making me jump in surprise. What the hell, Damon? Do you want to give me a heart attack? I exclaimed. No, it's, he stuttered. Spit it out. You look different, as if you are glowing. And your hair? Did you do something to your hair? I laughed at his expression. No, Damon. I loved the natural color of my hair, but I'm kind of starting to like this one too. It just happened overnight. I swear I didn't do anything. Actually, I came here to invite you for breakfast, he said, and looked at me weirdly. I nodded and followed after him. He led me to the door, and as he opened it, he said, "Elders are there too." Well, it's a good thing. I have to talk to them anyway. I wanted answers, but I feared the answers I wanted. Feeling my ambivalence, he pulled me closer to him and gave me a warm hug. For a moment, I allowed my head to rest on his chest. We are in this together, Riven. We promise you, you will not have to go through any of this alone. That declaration alone made me feel 1,000 times better. We reached to what appeared to be an enormous gaming room to the right of the wide staircase we had just descended. There were off-white leather sofas and matching reclining chairs placed strategically throughout the room. Dark cherry wood accessories complemented the furniture nicely, and flat-screen televisions of various sizes were mounted on almost every wall. And there, standing in front of a white patio door that opened to an even bigger in-ground pool, stood the elders and the boys. The boys gasped when they looked at me, while elders remained passive, but I could tell they were shocked too. Liam's high-pitched squeal escaped his mouth as he ran towards me with his arms wide. Why is he happy again? I am so happy to see you. I was scared to death last night, but today you look so fresh. Happy, and damn, that color really suits you, Liam said in his cheerful voice. Wow, this guy can really give a hug. He's huge, but a big softy. A deep, guttural sound, much like the sound of someone clearing their throat, broke me away from my inner thoughts. Come on, dear. Sit with us. Let's have breakfast together, then we can talk about anything you want, one of the elders said. The elders here are much nicer than my pack. Wait, how do you know that I want to talk to all of you? I asked. He gave me a knowing smile, without replying, and turned. Liam gently squeezed my hand as he led me to one of the chairs. Cole sat in the recliner across from us, while Kyle sat on the other one. We all ate in silence, but it was a good kind of silence. I actually felt comfortable, as if I was at my home. In such a short amount of time, they've become my second family. And I am so glad that I met these people. I wish Ems was here too. I have something to ask. No scratch that I have so many questions to ask all of you. I am beyond confused, but I also feel happy and content with whatever is happening. I feel that something is changing inside me, and I am not sure if that's going to be a good change. I started blabbering without break. Don't worry, dear. You can ask anything from us, and we'll help you as much as we can. You people don't even know me, but still, you all are trying your best to help me. Why? Because we all have been through a lot in our lives. Each and every member of the Packless have some suffered a tragedy once in their life. A kind of tragedy that was enough to make them feral wolves. But if we weren't there for each other, we wouldn't have been able to make it out alive. We understand the actual meaning of being alone. We understand how does it feel when there is nobody to support you, to guide you, to show you the correct way. That's why whoever comes here, we try our best to help them. That's what makes us different from the packs. I feel privileged to meet these people. I really wish that our packs could be like this. I nodded. Actually, last night, something happened. We know. What? How do you know? Elder Hashmat here has Ancient Wolf, and ancient wolves are sacred. He get visions of past and a future. He saw you in one of your visions. Wow, really? What did you see? You are ready, Riven. It's time. Your powers are slowly coming to the surface. They will come to you, one by one. The first power that you unlocked was fire. You can control fire. And there's no doubt that you got this ability because of the demon blood in you. But there's a problem with it. What is it? I'm not sure if you're going to like this, but I did some further research on the demons. You can control fire, surely, but this willpower will only grow in you when you kill more and more people. Because demons desire souls, souls of evil or innocence. The more people you kill, this ability is going to feed on the power and the energy of dying soul, and hence your powers are going to improve. But every time you kill someone, you are going to lose a part of your innocence. And I'm afraid about the after results. Something happened, right? Last night when we all were at the club, Riven, who attacked you? Cole asked in a serious tone. Actually, they were rogues and few vampires. They wanted to kidnap me. Why? I don't know. What? The triplets shouted together. What? I asked innocently. Rogue and vampires together? Yeah, I guess. They were. Do you know that they kidnap she-wolves so that they can sell them? What, really? I was shocked at this revelation. Wow, there should be a movie on your life, Riven. The tragedies really follow you everywhere. Kyle commented, but he suddenly shut his mouth when Cole glared at him. But last night, I killed all of them. I recalled, maybe that's why my powers were triggered. I killed a bunch of people when we escaped from Damon's father, and then last night, I killed a few vampires and rogues. Maybe that's why my fire-controlling abilities are coming to the surface. But is that it? Because as you said, I have a part of Faye's soul, and I also come from the lineage of the most powerful witches. I added, as it all makes sense now. We are not sure about them yet. Every Fae has different abilities. We don't know what kind of Fae participated in the exchange. But does that mean you accept that you're that person? The other elder answered. Of course, isn't it obvious? I replied, slightly embarrassed about how I was denying the fact that I am not that baby, but I think it's crystal clear now. Since you are ready to accept it, then we should not waste time. Riven, don't get me wrong, but I think you should start training. You need to learn on how to control your abilities, because I don't want to take risk with the lives of others from the Packless. Your abilities are kinda scary. What if you lose control? You know what I mean? Right? Cole said. More like asked. Of course I understand. After the conversation, the elders left. I got up and began to pace back and forth. I can handle being a werewolf. I can handle wolf-to-wolf and skin-to-skin fighting and so on. But I don't know, and I am not sure if I can control this newfound ability. What if Cole's right? That one day I lose control. I could feel my emotions changing from shock to outrage as beads of sweat formed from the rise in my temperature. Riven, don't get into the panic mode. I am here with you. We all are here with you. We will provide what you need, most stability, comfort, loyalty, friendship, support, whatever you need. Damon said, and others nodded in agreement. I did not have to second-guess their motives or doubt a single word he said. I knew that if he needed me to, I would travel to the depths of hell and back to protect him. And I knew he would, without a doubt, do the same for me. I think I know someone who can help you, Kyle said. Really? Who? I asked excitedly. Actually, one of my friend has a mate who is a witch. Maybe she can help us. I can ask him. Do you think we can trust her? I mean, she's a witch, Cole asked before me. Not every witch is bad. We have to be open-minded. We can try. We don't have to tell her everything. We'll only tell her that she's a witch, and she needs help on controlling her powers. Everyone agreed. Guys, wait. I almost shouted. I think there is one more thing that I can control other than fire, I said. What is it? Cole asked. I'm not sure, but plants. Because I clearly remember when I attacked the last vampire, the roots encircled his ankles and flipped him onto his back. I am not sure how it happened, or if it was really me who controlled it. But it all happened so fast that I didn't have time to consider it. It's okay. Don't pressurize yourself. Let's work on that fire first. Else can be done later, Kyle said. I do think that your new abilities are best to be kept secret. For now, you are the first supernatural being with so many powers combined that with the ability to control fire with demon blood running in your veins. Damon said. Okay, Riven, at 10 o'clock. I want you in basement wearing your training gear and with all the safety precautions, Cole said. Okay. He's right. I should start training as soon as possible if I want to return to my family. There's no doubt that I am that baby, but still, I feel like there's more to the story. And only my parents know the rest of the answers. After 2 hours in basement. Okay, are you ready? Cole asked. I could tell he was really dedicated and serious about my training. Rahia, are you ready? I asked in my mind. Oh, Beach, please don't ask me the same question twice. Like I said before, I was born ready for this. I rolled my eyes at her comment. Liam took a seat on the bleachers while looking at his phone. Damon handed me some gloves for myself and pads. I think I know what will be happening. Okay, so I want you to think of all the anger you have build up and use that as a fuel to hit me. Okay, Damon said. They're training me to fight against multiple opponents at once. I nodded at him, and I thought to myself that this should be good. He gave me a nod to alert me that it was okay for me to start, and then I could feel something changing in me and taking over me. I started wailing on the pads like a fucking boxer, and all you could hear was audible pops from my connecting. Whoa! What the fuck? Where have you fought before? Damon asked me. Nowhere. But I used to train secretly with my brother, and I learned self-defense from my father. I answered. I don't think you need training. You are too good, Damon said. Yeah, you're a natural fighter, Liam shouted, and I laughed. Okay, so clearly you're good enough to fight with multiple opponents at once. Then we should skip it, and we should start your fire training, or whatever you want to call it. Cole said. He's determined to prepare me any kind of challenge. Guys, she's here. The girl I was talking about. Kyle shouted. Okay, let her in. Cole replied. Riven, are you really ready? Because the real training starts now. Cole asked me, and I gave him a thumbs up, telling him that I was ready to face her. Honestly, I was nervous. For the first time in my life, I was going to meet a witch. I do have a witch blood, but obviously, I don't know how they work. Kyle then entered with a couple behind him and introduced us. I learned that the witch was from Celtic Coven, and she used to live in Ireland. But due to invasion of vampires, they had to leave. On their way, she met her mate coincidentally and instantly fell in love. They both mated, and that's how she ended up here. Her mate's name was Caleb, and you could tell by just seeing them that how much they adored and loved each other. Okay, if you don't mind me asking, is there a type of witches? I mean, are all witches same, or do they have different types? I asked her out of nowhere. Of course there are different kinds of witches. We are all magical beings with something unique to share, and it's this belief that begins with so many witches' journeys across the world. There are a total of 16 type of witches. Whoa, really? I was shocked. Yeah. Do you know your type? She asked. No, actually, recently I accidentally found out that I am a witch, so I was hoping you could help me. Of course. So, like I said, there are total 16 kinds of witches, like traditional witch, eclectic witch, kitchen witch, green witch, solitary witch, hedge witch, elemental witch, Dianic witch, sea witch, ceremonial witch, secular witch, hereditary witch, cosmic witch, Corellian witch, Gardnerian witch, Alexandrian witch. How am I supposed to know what kind of witch I am?
Traditional witches focus on the old ways, the ways that came before witchcraft-based religion. Ancestral folklore and the historical accounts of witchcraft are important to traditional witches, as they want to honor the old ways of practicing their craft. The eclectic witch draws inspiration from the many different types and styles of witchcraft and infuses them into their craft in a wonderfully blended mixture. An eclectic witch tends to make their own path, and it varies depending on the individual witch. Kitchen witches work much of their magic in the home or in the kitchen, and love to bake, cook, and welcome new guests. The home is the focal point of their magic, and they offer a warm, nurturing, and beneficial environment for anyone in it. Green witches are drawn to the energy of earth more than most. They use plants, herbs, and flowers in much of their magic and are often practicing their craft in gardens, wooded areas, and anywhere that contains nature's essential energies. A solitary witch chooses to practice their craft alone, where many witches will be drawn to gather in a coven. Generally, solitary witches choose to work their magic alone because they feel a strong connection to their craft early on and have less of a need to work with others. Hedge witches practice astral projection and other forms of communication to jump the hedge between this world and the spirit world. They send and receive messages between both worlds more easily than other witches. Elemental witches work their craft heavily, based on the 4 elements of water, fire, earth, and air. They call on the elements to bring about their magic and incorporate these elements with various items that represent each element respectively. Dianic witches worship the goddess Diana through 3 aspects of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Typical Dianic witches have heavily feminist values and infuse their craft with these values as well. A sea witch practices their magic as they draw power and inspiration from the ocean and the moon. It's the deep mystery and steadfast energy that draws many sea witches to this type of witchcraft, and they often use elements of the ocean as tools in their practice. Many witches prefer the aspect of ritual more than others. These witches are often referred to as ceremonial witches, and they invoke many different spiritual aspects in their ceremonial magic to assist them in their practice and spell work. Witchcraft doesn't ask for any specific belief system to be followed, and that goes for witches who are secular by their nature as well. Secular witches don't attach spirituality to their craft or worship spiritual aspects to gain power from them. The hereditary witch is one that is born into witchcraft, is one way or another, They are part of a lineage of witches, and the craft has been passed down and accepted by them. Cosmic witches use the stars, cosmos, astrology, and astronomy to work their craft and look to celestial energy to bring power and purpose to their work. Cosmic witches are generally infatuated with cosmic events. Corellian witches follow Wiccan tradition of the line founded by Caroline High Corel. The tradition is based upon the teachings of members of the High Corel family. Gardnerian witches generally have strong ties to nature and strongly ritual-based. Alexandrian witchcraft is a Wiccan tradition that was founded by Alex and Maxine Sanders. Maxine Sanders in the 1960s. Alexandrian Wicca is similar in many ways to Gardnerian Wicca and receives regular mention in books on Wicca as one of the religion's most widely recognized traditions. Whoa, that's too much information for one day. But thanks for sharing all this information with me. I truly feel grateful. That's fine. After all, that's why I'm here, right? Thanks, anyway. So, what kind of a witch are you? I asked her.
I am Gardnerian witch. And you? Well, I think I can control fire. I mean, I just discovered about it. So, I am not really good at controlling it. Okay, let's start with a test. We could test the limitations of your powers. It could be beneficial to find out the limit. Sounds good to me. Finding out what I am capable of may help me gain control over my new abilities. Of course, I am the only one incapable of controlling my magic. One burst of anger seemed to send my magic into a frenzy. Okay, are you sure this is the only element you can control? She asked me before starting. Yes, I think. It's just that. I can feel your magic reaching out, and I think it's not just fire that you can control. I am not sure, but you have this aura around you that's able to call my magic onto the surface too. Is that a bad thing? No, of course not. It tells me that you come from a strong lineage of witches. Oh, actually, I was adopted when I was young, so I don't really know much about my lineage. I lied. Normally, elemental witches can also control more than one element. Weak ones can only control one element, while the stronger ones can gain control on more than one element. And the aura around you says that you can control more than one element. Okay, so let's not waste any more time and start. Are you ready? I felt the muscles in my face expand as a smile stretched widely across my face. Of course, I am ready. She asked me to focus on my power, so I can call my power on surface on my will. I closed my eyes and concentrated on calling forth my power. I could see it when I opened my eyes, like a faint, shimmering glow that wrapped itself around the silhouette of my pinky finger. I think it worked, but it's not strong as much as I thought it would be. But I think I can make fire look cute. It's looking cute on my pinky. Liam's laughter vibrated in his chest and filled the entire room. Fire can only burn Riven. It's not meant to be cute. But this one here is. I showed him my finger. Okay, jokes apart, let's try again. She instructed me. Once again, I closed my eyes and did exactly what she asked me to do. I focused on every detail of every emotion so that I could call my powers when my emotions are in control. I opened my eyes frustrated. It's not working. She smiled and gently said, "Try again." I closed my eyes again, determined to make it work. I reached down into my core, where I felt my magic waiting dormant for me to call upon it. I drew it up and put it towards my left palm. When I blinked my eyes open, I could feel it, the blue flames resting on my left palm. I started jumping excitedly like a crazy person. Yes, I did it. That's great now. Try to push it
wasn't sure how to do this, but I tried so. I just closed my eyes and picture it. I concentrated on my magic, and then the fire extinguished from my hand, as if it was never there. I was having a blast in my training. For my final try, I closed my eyes and focused on Liam's hand. When I opened my eyes, a look of shock washed over his face as he stared at his hand. The fire I created was there, but not to burn him. Good. Now can you try to transform your energy into something else? I looked at her in confusion. Energy? What do you mean? Yes, energy. Being an elemental witch does not mean that you can control the element, especially with fire. It's like science. You already know that fire is a kind of energy, and as the law of conservation of energy says, that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. Similarly, when you create fire, you use your internal energy. Now I am asking you to transform this energy and transfer it. Are you sure? Do you think I can really do it? I don't want to hurt anybody. Riven, I trust you, and I think you should learn to trust yourself too, and your abilities. As long as you are in control, and not your emotions, you can do it. So, take control. Take control on your powers, and don't let your emotions control them. If it helps, I can be your guinea pig. You can experiment it with me. I am a witch. I can handle it. I tried several times, and almost gave up, assuming I did not have the ability to transform it. I need a reference point to call my magic. So I grabbed both of her hands in mine, and instructed her to close her eyes with me. I called my power forth, and I could feel it wash over me like a soft, warm blanket. I put it out from me and into her. I could feel where the power flowed out my right hand and into her left, where it circulated and excited her right hand and re-entered through my left.
I finally opened my eyes and looked at her. Did you feel that? Yes. Congratulations. You did it, and it was amazing. She smiled. I broke the connection by removing my hands from hers. Satisfied with the way things went today, we decided to head in and relax for the remainder of the rest of the day. As I was walking, a wave of dizziness hit me. I tried to grab on something, but I was falling into darkness. When I came to, I had opened my eyes to find my throbbing head in Wendy's lap with Damon and Cole squatting over me, concern over all of their faces. What happened? Cole helped me to stand and held me there until Liam was up and able to take his place. They both helped me and laid me down on the couch. What happened? I asked again, with a little more impatience. We don't know. We heard Liam calling your name, and when we turned around, you were face down on the ground. Wendy began to cry. I couldn't sense your magic, so I thought you were dead. Now I just felt awful. I don't understand what is wrong with me, Wendy, but I am okay. I am not dead. I attempted to reassure her. Liam was concerned that I may have used a bit too much energy, so he brought me food. I felt a little better after, but not enough to keep the dizziness fully at bay. I could feel myself slowly fading into darkness again. Wendy grabbed my arm and started shaking me violently. My weakened magic was pulling and boiling hard to the surface and reaching out to Wendy. I saw Wendy's body arch in an unnatural way that reminded me of an exorcism. But my magic refused to let me break the connection. Her mate raced over and attempted to pull Wendy free from my grasp, but my power reached out to him and brought him to his knees, still clutching Wendy's immobile frame. Fear ran through my veins like sharp razors when I saw others reaching for me. No, guys, don't. I yelled
I ran to my room and locked the door. Wendy softly knocked on the door about an hour later. "Can I come in? I won't touch you, I promise." I walked over and unlocked the door for her to come in. I almost killed her. The least I could do was let her in to grill me for it. She walked in and shut the door behind her. "I sent the boys to the grocery store to get something, so we could be alone. I am so sorry, Wendy. I did not mean to. I tried to stop it, but it was too strong." The look on her face was not one of the blame or anger that I believed she should have been feeling, but one of pity instead. "Shh. It's not your fault. This is all new to you. I understand. I have been through this before, and it is new to all of us. We are going to find out how to fix this." "How? I don't know of anyone familiar with this whole witch business," I asked, while helplessly trying to rid my eyes off the tears that kept coming. She walked over and sat on the bed beside me, being careful not to touch me, so I don't run from her. "Listen to me, Riven. I know that we just met, and you don't trust me enough, but I can sense the great amount of power that's inside you. You can do it, but before that, you need to get rid of the fear that's inside you. It's the only thing that's stopping you to take control." With that, she stood up and turned towards the door. "Learn to control your emotions. Riven, don't let your powers and emotions control you. And I am making my grandma's famous recipe today. I am not going to tell you what is it, so I am hoping that I will see you at dinner." Then she turned around once again and smiled. I was at peace after talking to her. Wendy, not caring about the danger, pulled me suddenly and hugged me. Realizing that no magic was coming to take my friend's life from her, I relaxed and hugged her back. The boys turned about an hour later, carrying plastic bags full of food to throw on the grill in the backyard. Liam met my gaze with a look of uneasiness, trying to sense if I was going to run away from him again. "How are you feeling now?" Kyle asked. "I am okay now. I was afraid I would hurt you guys." I could see all of them relaxed as they sat the bags they were holding onto the table. Damon came over and gave me a quick hug. No words were needed. "I am glad to see you back normal," Kyle said. "Thank you. It's good to feel like myself again, sorta." I watched them return to the task of emptying the bags of the food they had bought. "You guys need help?" I asked, but they ignored and mumbled something about taking care of myself and relaxing. So I just let it all go. Looking all these people around me, who have done so much for me and supported me, I don't think I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I feel accepted here. It's not like that I never felt in Zaden's pack like this, but they were obliged to do so because I was their Luna. But not here. My heart still hurts when I think about him, but his absence doesn't bother me much anymore. It gives me a hope for the future. I was torn from my thoughts when Liam came over and signaling us to join them. Me and Wendy joined them without wasting any time, because honestly, from all the training, I was starving. The smell of cheeseburgers, fries, and orecchiette with broccoli rabe made the pit of my stomach growl, letting me know how much my system needs food. I brought the link up to my mouth and bit down. One bite, then two. I was relieved. You never know how much you would miss the taste of food until you are faced with possibility of not being able to touch it again. I thought I wouldn't be able to touch even the food from now on. I admitted stupidly. Liam laughed so hard that it made the rest of us join in. I loved seeing all of them laugh, We sat there for what felt like hours, just talking about anything and everything that came to our minds. And somehow, it brought us back around to the couple, who were talking about their recent trips, and how Wendy takes care of the garden with the help of her witch powers. I felt a kinship towards all of them. We all were very much alike. In a lot of ways, we all were left abandoned, or were cheated by someone, by the people who were supposed to love and care for us. Wendy and I made quick work of cleaning up after our feasting time. We left the boys outside while we went in to clean up the few dishes in the kitchen. I glanced out towards the yard, and I could see all of them talking to each other. Whatever it was serious. I could tell by the body language and hand gestures. I tried to read their lips, and they were discussing something about my abilities. I think I'll have to ask them about it after Caleb and Wendy are gone. I hope they don't send me away. I am finally happy, but I know deep down that one day I will have to leave this place. But I am sure that all these people deserve a proper place, with a proper pack and new identity, and not as the members of the Packless. After some time, when they left, I turned towards them and asked them about what's going on. Their look says that there was something bothering them. "Riven, there's something we want to tell you," Kyle said. I signaled them to go on. Elder Hashmat got a vision, Cole said. "And it's not good news," Liam added. "Guys, you are scaring me. What's going on? What did he saw in his vision?" I asked impatiently. "Your grandmother, the Coven Master. She's still looking for you. She knows that you're alive. And now, with your powers coming to the surface now, it will be even more easier for her to find you," Liam said. "So what are you guys saying? Should I leave?" I asked. "No, definitely not. We were discussing about this. I think we should increase your training time. It will be better if you are ready as soon as possible," Cole suggested. "I think we can trust Wendy and Caleb. We should tell them about your powers, and they'll help us. Caleb travels a lot. He's got contacts almost everywhere. He can help us," Kyle said. "Are you guys sure that this is a good idea?" "I don't want to hurt anyone," I said, nervously. But I was also angry. Angry that my biological parents were separated from me at my birth, because of her. That I didn't know about my real identity until now. My parents had to hide because of her. They sacrificed so much because of her. I could feel the heat rising up in my chest, the anger bubbling up inside me. I was nervous, but I was also angry. And in the heat of the moment, I accidentally allowed my anger to flow up and flood out of me. Everyone backed away from me and moved to pull Liam away from me, because he was the one standing closest to me. I was shaking violently, and because of my emotions, the entire house shook, and Liam went flying through the wall, where he landed in a limp heap against a pillar. I couldn't move. I stared at the figure slumped against the pillar. He stared back at me, concern evident in his eyes. I didn't realize that my eyes changed color completely. Yes, I was angry and lost control, but I never wanted to be the responsible for the look of fear on all their faces. Then I felt it again, the rush of the power inside me. I could quickly back away from all of them. "No, stop," I screamed at Cole as he tried to follow my steps. "I don't want to hurt any of you." It felt like my body was covered in blue
wolf form. I could see myself near the lake, drinking water and playing. It worked. I reached outward with my mind, calling the power back into myself, just as the version of myself in my vision reached out and embraced the flames. I could feel my core cool as my anger resolved it was over, and no one got hurt further. My eyes opened, and I looked at all of them Liam, who was on his knees with other two brothers on either side of him. Fear wrecked me, and I ran to him. "Oh my goddess, I am so sorry. I was not trying to hurt you. I don't want to hurt anyone. That's why I asked you to stay back." I fell to the floor in front of him, surveying every inch of him, trying to determine where he was hurt. He was drenched in sweat, but there was no sign of injury. "What happened is that you are the most badass women in my life I have ever seen. You are amazing, Riven. Your powers are amazing, but that is exactly why we want you to be in control. No one among us wants to send you away. You are a kind-hearted person, and you deserve so much more in life," Liam said while standing up. He held my shoulder and said, "We are going to prepare you for everything, and when the time comes, we are going to fight with you against your so-called evil grandmother." I smiled, grateful that he was still in one piece and in perfect health. I wrapped my arms around him and just held on to him as if my life depended on it. The sting of tears burned my eyes before the dam burst open, and I began to cry hysterically. They all hugged me, and we stayed like that for a while. All of them held me as I cried into Liam's shoulder, disappointed in myself for my childish display. I wiped the tears from my face and willed myself to stop crying. "I am so sorry, guys. I am such a mess. I looked up into the face of my new trainer. I am so sorry for losing my temper." He didn't say anything and just hugged me once again. Who needs relatives when you have a family like this? That's what we were becoming. One big and a happy family. And I will do anything and everything in my power to not let them down.
I silently vowed. I will not cower away. I will not run away from my feelings. I will do everything in my power to control my abilities as soon as possible.
I am serious, Riven. No more crying. No more drama. You are right. I am being way too dramatic. I was never like this, but I promise you from now on I will try my best. Let's just go back for now and take some rest, because I am tired. Tomorrow, I am going to kick your A's, I said to lighten the atmosphere. We'll see. I may look all softy, but you haven't seen me in a fight. I'll crush you tomorrow, Liam said. Is that a challenge? I asked. Damn right it is. Okay, then be prepared to lose, loser. I heard a slight huff coming from the direction of Cole, and it made me smile. He was annoyed by his brother, and I found it comical. But right now, I need my beauty sleep. I can't have dark circles under my eyes, Liam said. I couldn't stifle the laugh building in my gut. Stand up, you moron, Cole said, annoyed by his brother. Liam pouted, but complied. Riven, for now, you need to rest too. We'll see you tomorrow, Kyle said, and turned towards his room. And then we returned to our rooms too. Next day. I couldn't sleep all night. I feel pressured. I am still tensed about the vision that Elder Hashmat saw. I want to know more. Are we going to just sit around all day today? Or are we going to work on getting you ready? Wendy entered with her mate, trailing behind. I smiled at her. Her smile soon turned into a frown. What is wrong with you? She asked, with concern etched on her face. Nothing. What do you mean? Your smile. Anyone can tell that it's fake.
What's going on in your mind? Nothing. I want to believe you, Riven. But if there's something going on in your mind already, you better clear it up. Because when you are training, you need to be in control. You can't lose control with your abilities. Fire is not something you can mess with. I'm sorry. You are right. But everything is fine. It's nothing that I can't handle. And if there is anything serious, I will definitely share it with you. She nodded, and I smiled. I was wearing my pink and black yoga pants with their matching bra and t-shirt. We weren't just planning on training magically. We were training me in physical combat too. Liam was going to handle the physical, and surprisingly, Liam was actually really good in combat training. In our little challenge, I almost lost if I hadn't cheated a bit. Wendy was going to handle the training of my witch powers, and others were going to attempt to help me gain control over the powers. If by any chance I lose control again, we started with the easiest first. Wendy and I walked out to the center. From yesterday's incident, I realize you can completely absorb anyone's energy, and you can also transfer your own energy into others. This could be dangerous if not controlled properly, she said in a strong voice, which only meant business. I nodded. How long can you use your power before it drains you? She asked. I thought about it. I am not sure I accidentally absorbed yours and Caleb's energy yesterday. I haven't been drained since. How much magic have you done since then? She asked again. I laughed. If only she knew. A lot, was all I said. I was practicing almost the entire night due to lack of sleep. Wendy smiled a knowing smile. She knew I was holding back. I want to help you to control your powers, but first, I need to understand it. Can you go into detail about how much powers you used after you absorbed from us? I guess I could understand why she needed to know, so I told her everything that had happened after they left. She seemed to eye me suspiciously for a while, after I had finished explaining everything, which also included that I had to tell her my secret. We already decided that if she was going to train me, she needs to know what I really am and what I am really capable of. So you accidentally pushed Liam through your magic into a pillar, and then you were awake almost the entire night and practiced, and now you are saying you don't feel weaker for it. Instead, you feel stronger. Yes, I am sorry that we had to hide the truth from you, but you need to understand that we didn't trusted you at first. It's fine. I understand. She seems to be a bit afraid of me after hearing my new revelation. No witch ever born has the abilities that you have. You can absorb magic, and if I'm correct, you can keep it forever. If my guess is right, because you absorbed my energy, maybe you can now control the plants too. She continued shakily. Your abilities trigger when you are feeling an extremely strong emotion. I am not sure if I will be able to help you. I am going to try, though.
Her expression said that she was afraid that helping me would kill her. I haven't killed anyone who has tried to help me intentionally, I explained. She nodded her head and seemed to be a little bit more at ease. I guess what we need to try first is aiming and speed. Liam cocked his one eyebrow up and suddenly became interested in what we were working on while Caleb and Kyle were doing something on their phones. Liam, do you have anything we can use to have her aim at moving targets? Wendy asked. Liam had an idea of what we could use because he ran upstairs and disappeared. He returned moments later, carrying a big brown box of what appeared to be a small plain white plates. Damon burst into laughter. I never thought I would see the day Riven would be shooting skeet. I rolled my eyes and flaked enough energy out to tip the chair he was seated in backwards, causing him to land on his butt. It was my turn to laugh as he stood up and tried to dust himself off. He wasn't mad, he was proud. "How did you do that?" he said. "Like I said before, I practiced all night. I understood the fact that controlling fire doesn't mean actually controlling the element. It means controlling the energy that's around me, so I use your own to push you. You're getting the hang of it. It's good. Now, can we focus on the task now, please?" Wendy wanted to see how my powers would manifest in a spur-of-the-moment battle. So she tossed the skeet in the air and had me try to release my power on them. Other than being able to stop them from hitting the ground, her plan wasn't working. So far, I had managed to shoot a couple with just my mind, by pushing enough energy onto the surface. Yes, I discovered last night that I can do that too. And the remainder of the plates had hit me in the face and chest. Wendy, a lot of the times when Riven powers seem to be at their strongest is when she is having an extreme emotional reaction to something, Cole said. He was telling the truth. Often it was anger, but I have done some of my best work out of fear. She needs to be able to call on the full strength of her powers without the emotions attached. She responded. Cole nodded and replied with, "I am simply suggesting that we get her to that point, so she can at least call it forth. Once she focuses on the feel of her power at full strength, she won't need an emotional reaction again." He was right. I need a reference point. Something to remind me of the way something looks or feels to be able to use it later. "I know what to do," I said suddenly. I closed my eyes and tried to picture my worst fear. The image was gruesome. I was standing in front of a pile of bloody and dismembered bodies. When I mentally zoomed in on the bodies, I could see that they were the bodies of my family members. My mother, my father, my brother, and his mate, Liam, Cole, Kyle, Damon, and also the elders. Standing on the other side of the pile of bodies was a figure of a faceless woman in a long black lace gown, laughing at me as she sicked her faceless henchman on me. I could feel my heart pounding, and I yelled, "Now!" Wendy threw the little white plates she was holding at Liam first, and without any mind or effort behind it, the plate exploded before it got within inches of him. The next, she threw at Kyle, and my response was even faster, sending that plate reeling back at her. So, she had to duck to miss it. Then she threw two plates simultaneously. One was heading towards Liam to the left of me, and other one flying at the daemon to the right of me. I threw my arms out towards each of them. Then the purple glow emanated from my hands, and then the plates froze in midair. I stood there resembling Jesus on the crucifix for a moment, and then I looked around. Everyone's eyes were on me. I moved my arms together and made a motion, like I was clapping my hands, and the two plates collided, turning to dust upon impact. Well, that was something unexpected, but could definitely come in handy when the time comes, I said. Wendy seemed both amazed and uneasy when she said, "I think that is enough for today." We just let her go, and she took the seat next to her mate. He murmured something in her ears that she blushed hard. Caleb kissed both of her cheeks, and she giggled like a schoolgirl. "All right, get busy on training or get a room," Kyle teased. I could see a smirk on Caleb's face. "What would you like to work on now?" Cole asked. I thought about the vision that Elder Hashmat saw,
For the first time in my life, I was revealing my wolf to everyone. And by the looks on their faces, I was proud I felt beautiful. And when Cole stood before me in his wolf form, it was time that I let Rhea take the charge. I need to focus more on the physical aspect of my training, for 2 reasons. 1, it was what I needed help with, because being locked and hiding my wolf from everyone was making me strong, but my wolf form's weak. And the second reason was after losing everything. It felt good to beat the shit out of something. Rhea, without warning, charged at Cole's wolf. He was big too, but was no match for us. But still, he gave us good competition. Cole's wolf was skilled. He jumped and rubbed his claws onto my back, but I didn't stop. Blocking the pain from my mind, I feigned right and snapped my teeth around his throat. Due to the pressure, he released me. Without stopping, I charged forward and tackled him. The fighting went on as more and more bruises appeared on each of our bodies. A long time passed, and finally, the fighting seemed to be slacking off. We fought for a pretty long time, and I was getting tired from all the training. But then, finally, for the last time, I rammed my body into his, and he flew backwards, but maintained his posture quickly to fight again. We began encircling each other, searching for signs of weakness. My wolf was getting tired, and our body bleeding. But determination burned hot within our soul. Both of us lunged toward each other, scrambling to get a tight grip on the other. His claws raked down my sides, creating new wounds and even making several deeper. I managed to get my teeth around his neck, and I clamped down as hard as I could. I began tugging my head backwards, making my teeth almost tear his skin. But his wolf finally submitted, and I had to let him go. And our fight was finally over with me as the winner. Quickly, I stood back up, and soon his wolf followed. We both shifted and changed. I am sorry I didn't mean to bite you so hard, but Rhea is pretty competitive when it comes to fighting. She doesn't like submitting to anybody. I apologized to him. It's okay. I am glad you gave me a good competition, but we need to train more in our wolf's form. You were good, Riven, but because your wolf is huge, you'll get tired easily. You need to build more stamina, Cole said sincerely. He's right. You were amazing, Riven. Tomorrow we are going to push you more. Kyle complimented. Thanks. Let's call it a day and head inside. I am starving, Liam said. Sure. I am happy to see them happy and proud. And I will not let them down. And I will be back for my revenge. I deserve some answers, whether he likes it or not. His pack members were amazing. I miss Emma. His pack needs to know what kind of alpha he is. And they also need to know that I didn't turn my back on them. Not Zayden, but the pack deserves an explanation. And they will surely get them. 1 year. 1 whole year away from my hometown. Away from my best friend and my ex-mate. I wouldn't trade anything in the world, though, for all the people I got to meet, along with the training to become more powerful and stronger, and to be in control. Speaking of not regretting this experience, the boys had finally found their mates. It was a couple of months in with us, living with the Packless, and we had been informed that there was a part of the territory that housed abandoned wolves and other supernatural beings, whether they lost their family or had no pack and refused to be a rogue. I had heard a lot about it and wanted to go, volunteer like I used to do with my mother and my pack. It gave me a sense of purpose, being able to help those less fortunate. Yes, I wasn't very social, but I enjoyed helping others. It took a bit of convincing from the boys, since they didn't share the same passion for helping those less fortunate like me. But soon enough, they were walking with me. We had just entered that part of the territory when all three of them stopped and chanted out, "Mate!" And by three, I mean Kyle, Liam, and Damon. They immediately rushed in, following the different scents that would lead them to their mates. I just stood to the side with Cole watching with both happiness for them and slight jealousy that I wouldn't have that love. It was a beautiful moment, as I had never seen so much love in one room in such a short amount of time. Along with finding their meats, we discovered that two of their mates had siblings. Kyle's mate was from somewhere Mexico and has three younger triplet brothers. Her name is Ava, and her brothers are Taylor, Jeffrey, and Bennett. Then there's Damon's mate, Mackenzie, but everyone calls her Mickey. Since the day we all met, we have been inseparable. They made all the harsh and exhausting days from training seem like a walk through the park. They knew the truth about me, and they accepted me with open arms, telling me how they would protect me. Liam's mate was Chloe, and she knows how to keep Liam in line. During this time, I and Cole got a chance to know each other better. I learned that his mate rejected him because his priority was his brothers and not her. I felt bad about him, but over time, I think he has started to develop feelings for me, and I am starting to feel the same. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that I would develop feelings for someone other than my mate. Sure, I wasn't over the fact that my true mate cheated on me. I was still deeply hurt, but it seemed that the anger I was holding on to was slowly fading away. I guess time really heals all the wounds. He never made it obvious, but it's hard to ignore the way he looks at me, the way he takes care of me, the way he is always there to protect me and guide me. I know it's cheesy, but sue me. He is also the one who pushed me to my limits during the training. There were times when I wanted to go back. I was tempted to call Emma and Lorcan. I missed my friends and family. I shook my head from my thoughts and continued making my way to Liam's room, wanting to know what time we were leaving tomorrow. I didn't bother knocking and just walked right in. A big mistake. I screamed bloody murder, closing my eyes tightly while trying to get rid of the scene that I had just witnessed from my memory. My poor virgin eyes, put on some damn clothes. I yelled at them, turning to face away, now with my eyes still shut tightly.
Well, maybe if you had the decency to knock, you wouldn't have had to see that, he mocked. As I heard them moving around the room behind me, I scoffed, but didn't reply until I heard him say that I could turn around. "So what do you want, cock block?" he teased as he sat down on the bed next to his mate. I growled at the nickname. "Don't call me that." "Okay then, what about your highness?" He teased once again, and I just chucked one of his shoes at him. "That's worse, and you know it." He knew how much I hated the formalities. It bothered me a lot when someone called me that. I don't know why. It just did. Anyways, I dragged out, remembering why I had come down to see him. "What time are we leaving?" I asked, raising a brow in his direction, while his mate begins to pack their stuff. "We leave at 7. Now get out," he stated, giving me a look. I put my hands up in surrender, knowing exactly what was about to happen again. I did not need to be here and witness that once again, so I quickly ran out and made my way to the training hall. Today was my last day of training with Cole, Wendy, and Caleb.
When training began, they pushed it over my limit, as always, telling me that I need to be ready for the toughest of choices from now on. Trying to master all my powers was difficult. They made sure of it. Elder Hashmat had a vision about me again. He asked me not to kill too many people unnecessarily. It will bring out the harsh and darker side of me because of the demon blood in me. He also explained that there is still one power that is yet to come up to the surface, but it would come to me at a time that was most needed. My powers varied in many areas: water, earth, air, teleportation, levitation, hypnosis, shape-shifting, mind-reading, and fire. Fire is the strongest element. I could also drain someone else's energy, instantly killing them. Which was cool, but I was not allowed to kill people. Surely I can torture them, but not kill them.
Over the year, I noticed that whenever I was in my wolf form and I was using my powers, the color of my fur would begin to glow, making it seem as if blue flames were surrounding me. I spoke with Rhea a lot, especially when the stress and anxiety began to get to me. She kept me calm, telling me how I wasn't alone in all of this. I had her and my friends. Finally, the time came when we were about to leave. I bid my farewell to the elders, thanking them for everything they had taught me and the boys throughout this year. We all had gone through a lot this year, becoming closer to each other with every passing day. Then we left. Throughout the trip, I was mostly silent. All I could think about was seeing Zadin again. I was stuck in the middle of deciding to either giving him a chance to explain himself or trying to move on with Cole. On one hand, he had hurt me so badly that I truly felt like I was dying. But on the other hand, I also discovered so many things about myself. I don't know what is going to happen when I go back there. But one thing is certain, that I am going to give him a chance to explain himself. That, why he cheated on me. It was a stupid decision to leave just like that, without giving him a chance to explain. I don't want to jump the gun and end up giving him another chance and put my guard down. I know my friends won't be too keen on the idea, but it is my choice. On public demand, here's Zayden's POV. This might also change your perspective about Zayden. Warning. His POV might confuse you a little bit, but bear with me. Zayden's POV. Zadin, she screams for me. I can see her reaching for me as the rain pours down on us, blocking me from reaching her fast enough. No, I yell as I push against the hidden force, pulling me away from her. I watch as the slimy, disgusting hand wraps around her throat, and an evil laugh fills the empty forest as her fear etches into my memory. She opens her soft lips as if to tell me she loves me for the first and last time. Oh, only I know how much I wanted to hear those words from her lips. But I never hear the sweet music escape in the words I need to hear. As his claws dig deep into her neck, in one swift movement the beast yanks his claws across her throat, taking her from me forever.
The force pulling me back gives way as I race to catch her before she hits the forest floor. I turn her over to face me as her blood soaks into the soil. Her skin feels as soft as the day I first found her on the hunt. Her hair is stained from the black liquid seeping from the wound. Her once beautiful eyes are devoid of life. My mate is gone, forever taken away from me. I hold her in my arms, weeping for her to return to me. Finally, I lay her down, as anger to the one who took her fills my body as my wolf howls for his fallen mate. That's when I feel it. Sparks erupt up my arm, but not one ones of love. As if my life is being drained from my soul, darkness spreads over my body and to my heart as I watch my dead mate lift her head from the ground. She stares at me, devoid of all emotion and love. Why? What? I ask the now living corpse. Why did you let me die? Her voice is monotone, empty of all emotion. No. Why am I dead, Zayden? And her nails grow into my skin, spilling my blood onto the ground. The only thing I can focus on is her face, as it morphs into anger over my failure. Why did I die, Zayden? Why did you kill me? I didn't. I tried. I stuttered. It's all your fault. No. Elle yell. It's all your fault. I am dead. No. I scream, jerking out of my nightmare. I feel my pounding heart as I looked around my office. I slowly peel my eyes open and look to the clock sitting in front of me. It's almost 3 in the morning. I must have fallen asleep at my desk when I was working on the treaty with 2 opposing alphas who were fighting over land. Knocks pound against the door to my office. I rub my hands over my face in frustration. I have been having nightmares over the loss of my mate for a year now. I try to erase the memory as my hoarse voice calls to the person waiting for me to allow them in.
Enter. The door knob slowly turns as my beta and my brother pushes into the room. He lowers his head slightly, in respect. Alpha. What is it, Lorcan? I ask him. He is my brother and has been my best friend since we were children. He has known me for years, and he was there when I lost my mate. He supported me in my search for her, but we never found her. Eventually, he dragged me back to the pack, but I will never stop looking, even if everyone thinks she is dead. I refuse to believe it until I see her for myself. Are you all right, Zayden? He asks. I am fine. I respond automatically. After so many people asking the same question, I have been accustomed to the same lie I told to them and myself. He slowly nods his head in understanding before giving me a look of sadness. I heard you call out her name again. He says, I'm fine, brother. I tell him again. I know. He says, but it's okay not to be okay. He pauses for a second, in an attempt for his words to sink in. I know he is just trying to look out for me, but nothing he says could get me to crack and spill everything. When I lost my mate, I lost the remaining hope in life itself. I became even more feared by all who crossed me. I burned rogues into nothing and killed all those who stood against me or my pack. I became even more cruel in a way that my mate will be ashamed to discover when I find her again. What did you dream this time? He asked me softly. I took a deep breath before answering him honestly. She died in my arms. Then she came back and asked why I killed her. You didn't kill her, he says definitively. I look up to him. He has been the only one who urged me to keep hoping for her return. He is the only one who still saw the man I was, instead of the cruel alpha I have become. She isn't dead. I go to answer him when I am cut off by a messenger in the Pac-Man link. Alpha! One of the petrol says. What is it? I question him, standing in case I need to move quickly. Someone's getting close to the border, but we don't know for sure if they are rogues. I let out a snarl as my wolf becomes angry at the thought of another rogue coming onto our lands. Have they crossed yet? I ask, as my beta listens in on the conversation. No, they appear to be following another wolf. She seems set on crossing the border. I look at Lorcan and quickly order, go. Kill any rogue that crosses in our territory. Yes, Alpha, he quickly says before heading out the door. Kill those who cross the border. I tell the patrols. I sit back in the chair behind my desk waiting for my men to tell me they were dead, that no rogue survived. When my mate was taken, the smell of rogues were present. Ever since, I have killed every rogue that crosses my path. If I kill enough of them, I will eventually find her. A few minutes passed before I hear my beta trying to reach me. Alpha. How many? I ask. They are not rogues. Alpha. They are not rogues, Alpha, he said with urgency. Alpha, someone did cross over, but not the rogue. She says she need to speak with you. I take no prisoners, Beta. I growl to him as my wolf starts to surface at the thought. Alpha. It's Alpha Madden's mate. Luna Selena. The Dark Moon Pack has been attacked. He tells me. Bring her here immediately, I order him. Yes, Alpha. He immediately replies. How could someone attack the Dark Moon Pack, and no one received a word about it until now? There has been no distress call sent out. They are one of my pack's greatest allies under my father, and they supported me when I became Alpha. Although I haven't been close to Madden and the pack in the last couple of years, I know they aren't a small pack. How could the rogues have beaten them? After about 10 minutes of thinking over what could have happened, I hear soft voices. Voice of my beta guides the poor Luna to the house. As swiftly as I can move, I leave my office and pounce down the steps of the pack house until I reach the solid oak front door. Without a thought, I open the door to greet Luna Selena. The second the door is open, I don't see the Luna in front of me. All I see are two deep blue eyes reflecting sadness and a need for comfort. I stare at the soft face as silent tears flow down her face. She looks so small and helpless as she clutches closer in the arms of the Luna. Her eyes remind me of the mate, Henrar says in my head. Protect the pup, my wolf. Henrar yells in my mind. What? I ask him, confusion crossing my face. What are you talking about? We must protect this pup. She reminds me of the mate. He answers me. You're right. Her eyes remind me of our beautiful mate. I tell him to calm his agitated behavior over my hesitance to automatically agree with him. Alpha. A voice pulls me out of my daze. I move my eyes to Luna Selena. Luna Selena. I greet her. Her face and clothes are covered in dried blood. Mud plagues her skin as she clutches the child closer to her when she sees my immediate fascination with her. Come in. I hold the door for her as she hesitantly enters the house. My beta leads her deeper into the house and back to my office as I follow behind them. I stare into the eyes of the little pup she holds, and the pups stare at me with the same fascination. Right in here, Lorcan says to her as he opens the door and waits for both of us to enter. Please sit, I tell her. She immediately takes a seat, placing the child on her lap. I come around the desk and sit in my chair as Lorcan takes the seat next to her. Before either of us can say a word, the door opens again, and the beta female, Emma, enters. She doesn't take more than 5 steps in before she plasters a grimace on her face the second she sees me. She'd been a great help after my mate left. The pups Riven used to play with missed her so much, so Emma volunteered and played with them whenever she had time. She would leave everything and go to the nearby lake where my mate and she used to spend time together. She's temporarily looking after the duties that were Riven's. Her hairs cover her eyes, but I know what they hold. Anger. Ever since I lost my mate, she has been different. They both had been as close as siblings. She had been one of the first to step in the hunt to find her. But after 6 months of searching, she came back changed. She was no longer the same person that left to find my mate. She refused to be in the same room as me for more than 5 minutes, without making an excuse to leave. She seemed angry with me over the loss of the Luna, as I was. She closes the door silently and stands in the back of the room, holding her contempt for me in silence. I draw my eyes away from her and back to the matter at hand. "Can you tell us what happened?" I ask Serena, trying not to focus on the little girl. She clears her throat before answering. "We were attacked by rogues. Madden and I were at our home when the first warning signal sounded." Her head dips as she tries to hold back the tears that threaten to flow. What happened next? They came from everywhere. They were attacking everyone, not just the warriors. Women, children. They went after all of them, she says as a single tear escapes. Before she can lift her hand, the little girl in her arms reaches up to her cheek and catches the fallen tear. Serena gives her a small smile as she stares down at the little girl and whispers quietly, "Thank you." The little girl just nods slowly back at her and goes back to staring around the room in wonder. "Is this your daughter?" Lorcan asks her, trying to get her mind off of the attack for a second. I understand how much difficult it is for him, especially when his mate had a miscarriage due to depression. Emma miscarried because she was depressed about Riven. Lorcan was devastated at the news, but maintained his composure for me and his mate. I can't help but feel even more guilty, because deep down, I know that this is my fault. Yes. The little girl speaks out before Serena even has a chance to say anything. The girl's laughter jingles out as Lorcan starts to mess around with her, allowing her to escape from any horror she witnessed. "What is your name?" he asks her. "Sia," she yells out loudly. I smiled slightly at her hearty response. This little girl has so much joy and love, despite what she must have witnessed, the rogue's atrocities against her pack. Out of the corner of my eye, I swear I see shock cover Emma's face as she starts to take a step towards Sia. But the second I turn to look at her, her features return to her blank composure, as if nothing had happened. I am confused by her actions, but decided to let it slide for now. "Do you want to play a game?" my beta asks her. The second the words reached her ears, she is nodding her head violently at the idea of fun. "All right, let's go." Lorcan picks her up from Serena's lap and leaves the room with the little girl. Serena watches nervously after them, as if afraid of what would happen to her daughter the moment she looks away. "I am going to send some pack members to your territory to drive the rogues out." I look back to Serena, picking up the conversation again. "No," she says, automatically. "As much as I wish for this, just a few pack members will not be enough. These rogues will tear apart anyone you send." "I am sure we can handle it," I tell her reassuringly. "I will send someone over to help with the rogue problem immediately." She shakes her head violently, standing up to make her point clear. "You don't understand. It was as if they were in a frenzy. It was as if they were after something or someone." "What?" Her eyes are cold and haunted by the memories she witnessed. I am not sure what or who, but it seemed as if they were under some kind of spell. A.N. On request. I am trying to make chapters long, but I was asked by my editors not to make the chapter too long. So I am trying here. Also, many of you have asked me that, how often I update, and I've answered most of them that I update 2 chapters daily. Also, I would like to thank all of you for giving my book a chance and making it #1 in the live ranking. I welcome all kinds of response, good but bad. Please don't forget to show your love and support in the comments. Thank you, and happy reading. After Serena's declaration about the rogues earlier, I gave her a guest room for her and her daughter and sent them to bed. I promised her we would talk about it after she had gained some rest from the ordeal. Her story baffled me as to why a werewolf, even one as low as a rogue, would want the blood of pack members. What were they looking for? Rogues could do nothing with the blood of those they had killed, so what was truly going on? I sit in silence in the pack library, away from the prying eyes of any other pack members, as I scour the pages of old pack history books. There had to be something in these stories that described what Serena saw. Frenzied, white-eyed rogues, after blood had to have been seen by someone before. After looking for almost 2 hours, my wolf and I are as frustrated as ever. Ugh! I lead out as I throw the book I was currently looking through at the wall near the door, the pages shattering on the impact. I miss Riven so much. Nothing calms me anymore, like her mere touch used to. I still remember the day when I followed her scent outside the pack territory, and the sight around me made me nauseous. The smell of my mate and rogues, added with the burned flesh, almost made my stomach painfully churned at the thought of my mate being in pain. Everything around me was burned to death. The only thing that stood was a tall metal pole, which was also black in color. Sorry, a small voice whispers, and bring me back to reality. I whip my head to the quiet voice that spoke out to me. A pair of blue eyes stared up at me as mine connects with the little girl, the one Serena had brought with her, Zia. I didn't mean to disturb you, she says. Seems a bit hesitant about intruding. I give her a slight smile as I walked around the chair in front of me to stand before her. It's all right. She nods her head slightly, before looking back to the book I had shattered against the wall. Confusion covers her tiny features. Why did you do that? She asks. I was lost of words at how to answer her question. Did the book do something wrong? She asked, clearly confused by my behavior. Running my hand through my hair out of habit, I think of a way to explain an action that is not exactly one easily explained. After a second of thought, I kneel in front of her so we are on eye level. Well, you see, the book did nothing wrong. Then why did you throw it? I was very angry with myself because I am having trouble with solving a problem, I tell her. What kind of problem? She inquires. The curiosity in her reminds me of my mate, the one your mother has brought to my attention, about the rogues that came to your home. She nods her head in understanding. She looks to be no more than 5 or 6 years old, yet she seems to understand everything I said without much difficulty. After a moment, she looks back at me. May I help you solve the problem with the rogues? It is a bit shocking that she knows what had happened back at her pack, but I can respect the child who is mature enough to not break down in the situation. Very well. She shakes her head up and down as she walks past me and heads to the table I had been sitting at. Grabbing the first book that she comes across, she pulls it off the table and skips over to one of the plush chairs. Pulling herself up, I watch as she opens the book and begins to scour the pages. I am not sure she is even aware of what she is looking for, but her adorable face she is making as she concentrates makes me smile. Constantly taking glances at the small child, I walked back to where I was sitting before and began to go through another one of the books I had placed on the table. It was only 5 minutes before Zia spoke up. "What about magic people?" she asked. I put down my book to look at her. She is watching me as she points to a picture in the book she had picked up. "Witches," I tell her. "Winches," she repeated cutely. "Is this what you're looking for?" I gently take the book from her and read the pages. Witches and warlocks can use shifter blood in certain spells. "This is exactly what I was looking for," I tell her, smiling at her. She smiles back at me before jumping up from her seat. "Well, my job here is done then," she shouts happily as she steps out of the room, hollering back to me. "Goodbye, Alpha." I laugh slightly as I watched her leave. "She's the perfect pup," my wolf comments as we head back to my office. I'm a bit shocked at his sudden input. "Where have you been?" I ask him. "Around," he says secretly. "I had things I had to do." "Like what?" I ask him. "I can't tell you yet." He answers cryptically, "You are not ready yet."
Riven's POV. The entire way to the pack, I sat in the back with the window open and my headphones on. Whilst I stared out of the window, my mind not wandering into any particular area, just generally weaving from thought to thought based on the song that was playing. I ended up dozing off after an hour on the road. My eyes snapped open. Both I and Rhea were on alert. Home. We are home. It was like a wave of energy passed through me as I took off my earphones. "We are here," I whispered to myself as the boys and their mates responded with, "Seems like someone missed home a little too much," Liam said with a smirk, though I barely acknowledged him. My eyes drinking up the familiar woods, every scent that I'd memorized was still there. "I am walking the rest of the way," I said, shoving my phone into my pocket, putting my headphones on once again. Without waiting for a response, I opened the door and stepped on to the moist grass. Face him with as much confidence as you face a fight. Don't let him or your emotions take control over you again. Elder Hashmat words were locked in my head. The thing was that I didn't let him control me, but I also wanted him to get a taste of what I had gotten for a full year. My wolf craved revenge. But for me, I wanted to give him a chance to explain himself. I walked with no emotions on my face and crossed Border Patrol with my backpack. What shocked me most was that they didn't try to stop me. The two wolves on duty looked at me wide-eyed when I walked past them. I walked deeper into my once-used-to-be home territory as the lights got brighter and the scents swirled. The smile on my face grew brighter. My worries seemed to disappear. Surely enough, every person gave me a once-over as I walked. Surely enough, I looked like a changed person now. Kyle and Damon told me that my scent got changed when my full power surfaced. I guess that's the work of demon blood. My hair color, my hairstyle, my eyes and my personality, everything was not like it used to be about a year ago. Oi, girl, hate to break your train of thoughts, but we have to meet the Alpha so that we can complete our task as soon as possible. Liam yelled from behind me. Would you stop yelling bloody murder, you twat? I am having a pep talk in my mind, I retorted. He put up his hands in surrender as Damon and Kyle broke into a fit of laughter while walking towards the pack house. They came up behind me and gave my shoulder a gentle squeeze to assure me that, whatever happens, they are here with me. My heart
pounded against my chest, threatening to jump out of my chest at any given moment. Each step I took felt like my feet were digging into the ground and forcing out of the crevice I had created. Once I made it to the front door, my nerves had risen so high that my nails now dug into my palm, and my breathing was uneven. Luckily now, I know how to control my powers, otherwise this place would have been burnt to ashes until now. I swallowed my fear and thought of everything that I have faced this entire year. The fierce training, whether in my wolf form or human form, controlling my powers, killing the rogues, killing the rogue vampires. A pathetic excuse of an alpha who'd made me feel like I was just a toy. To him was nothing compared to the feats that I'd faced. With that little boost of confidence, I shook the worry that crept up my spine off and turned to the pack house. I walked in my sneakers, squealing against the floors. "It's okay, take your time. Just know we are here with you. If the shit goes wrong, you have my permission to burn his office, or maybe freeze him to death, or..." Kyle whispered in my left ear, but was cut off by Damon. "Or I have a better idea. You can just talk to him like a normal person," Damon whispered in my right ear. "Okay guys, stop. None of you are helping me here. So shut your mouths for once. My heart is already doing crazy things inside my chest." "Sorry," they both replied at the same time. I gave them a sharp nod, taking a deep breath and gathering every last drop of confidence I had inside my system before pushing the large doors open. A gentle breeze flew back onto my hot skin, making it cool a bit, and returned my pink cheeks to their regular shade. I stepped in, followed by Kyle and Damon. Others were waiting at the borders, outside the territory. They knew that there's a chance that Xaden won't even recognize me anymore. And honestly, it will make things easier for me. I knew where his office was, so I didn't waste my time and barged right in. I could feel their gaze on me, but I was here only for one thing: to talk.
AN. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are safe and sound. I read many of your comments, the good ones and bad ones. Like I have mentioned before, I accept both of them. And people who are saying that there are lots of grammatical mistakes, just know that English is not my first language, and also this is my first book. So, I am still learning. Every bad comment that is delivered in the comments only makes me more determined to improve myself. So, I would like to thank all of you for telling me what's wrong with my story. Xaden's Pove. After the last incident in the library, I returned to my office. I rarely sleep in my bedroom anymore. The bed reminded me of her. The guilt and regret try to consume me, even more, when I realized that our room and bed, or her pillows, don't have her scent anymore in it. Her scent was so unique, vanilla and alyssum, that I can recognize it easily among the swarm of people. I don't know for how long I worked, but the idea of rogues being controlled by warlocks didn't sit right with me. So, I thought of all the possible reasons. What do they want? What are they looking for? Maybe I should discuss it with Luna Serena. With that in mind, I completed the rest of the pending work till morning. My pack expects me to sit with them during breakfast, but now I like to have my morning tea alone. I'm not sure what went wrong. Everything was going smoothly between us. Then why'd she left? I just continued to sit down, surrounded in my past world. Suddenly, I felt someone reaching out to me through MindLink, and I let them. Alpha, my beta, greet me. I got a call from some of the scouts. What do you have? I ask him, devoid of all emotion,
and getting straight to business. Someone's coming towards the territory. We are not sure if they are rogues. Their scent seems different from the rogues. My wolf growls at the thought as I rise from my seat. If they are rogues, kill them. But if there's another pack member who is in need of help, let them pass. Understood? Yes, Alpha. With that, he cut the mind link and enact my orders. I move to sit back down when my wolf starts to stir in my mind and starts growling to be let out. But I deny him. I can't give him the charge right now. The feeling is liberating as Henrar pushes his paws, trying his best to gain control. What are you doing? Just let me focus on my work. I growl at him. You don't understand. Something is coming. What is it? I am not sure, but I think... A knock on the door draws me out of my conversation. Luna Serena, do you need something? Good morning, Alpha. I came here to ask you about the condition of rogues. I nodded. Please take a seat, I ask her politely. I found something last night in the library. Or maybe I should say that your daughter helped me in solving this puzzle. My daughter? Yes. She showed me a picture, which depicts that there's a chance that those rogues that attacked your pack were controlled by warlocks. But I'm not sure why. Do you have any ideas? No, she said. But it does make sense because I have never seen any werewolf with those eyes. But what were they looking for? I am still not sure about that. It's okay. You just take some more rest. I'll see what I can do. Suddenly, a breeze picks up slightly, blowing the papers on my desk about around me. Sniffing into the air, I smell it. The one scent I have been begging to sense for the entire year. The scent I thought had been taken from me forever. It's her. It has to be. My mate. Henrar starts growling in my head. Alpha, are you alright? Luna Selena asked me. Yes, I am fine. Can you please leave? Something important came up. Sure. The scent becomes stronger, as if it is moving towards me. I lift my nose again as I take in the perfect scent. I have been trying to find it, and finally, the door of my office opens, and her scent invades my senses as I take in the woman standing in front of me. Mate! Henrar calls out. Riven! I call out, every ounce of hope I have seeping into my voice. I watch as her demeanor stiffens slightly, and she meets my eyes. The second her eyes reach mine, my heart lifts. She stands in front of me in the same way as the day I lost her. My eyes scan over her form, as I see every part of the woman I thought I lost. Xaden. Riven's POV. Xaden. No, don't let your guard down. We are only here to talk, Rhea warned me. She knows that we can't go through the same pain again. My eyes moved from Xaden to the women sitting on the chair in front of his table. Of course. How can I forget what kind of a person he is? A man whore. Riven where? I mean, how? You are here. He stuttered nervously. Well, hello to you too, Alpha. And who is she? Your new potential Luna? I mocked. What? He asked, clearly confused. What? I came here to talk to you. But I guess it was a mistake. I never should have come back here. You have already got company. I don't want to show him, but I don't know why it still hurts me to see him with another woman. What? No. I mean, Riven. He cleared his throat and spoke again. Riven. I would like you to meet Luna Serena from the Dark Moon Pack. Her pack was attacked 2 days ago, and she needs our help. Hello, Luna Serena. I am Riven Adams from the Packless. I greeted her politely and offered my hand toward her to shake, and she accepted my handshake. The confusion on Xaden's face laughable, but I controlled my expressions. She's not from Packless. She's my mate, and Luna of this pack. Xaden interrupted. My conversation with the Alpha here is done. So I am going to check on Zia, while you two can talk. Luna Serena left without looking back. Zayden ran a hand through his hair, folding his arms over his chest, fighting back a growl. Riven. He breathes out as if it was hard to believe that I am back again. He took a step forward but halted as I signaled him to stop right there. Don't, I said in a firm and confident voice. Like I said, Zayden, I am only here to talk. So, let's just get this over with. What do you mean you are only here to talk? Are you trying to say that you'll leave once again? Zayden said, his voice laced with hurt and sadness. This is the first time it was easy to read him.
But why? He asked. Why? Are you asking me why I came back? Or are you asking me why I left in the first place? I snap at him. I know my words would not affect the man in front of me, but I still want him to feel what I felt. So, you're alive. Why? You wanted me to be dead. Sorry to disappoint you, Alpha. This is not a joke, Riven. Where were you? Where have you been all this time? He questioned, taking a step forward. I tried to find you, but... I cut him off. What makes you think that I am here to joke with you? I said coldly, trying to hide my emotions of seeing the man who was once my mate, who betrayed me. He stops moving at my icy demeanor. What do you mean? You left, just like that. And here we all were looking for you, going crazy for you. Do you have any idea what I have gone through all this time? No. Does it look like I care? If you are not good at reading emotions, let me clarify it for you. I don't give a damn about how you feel. I don't care if you rot in hell. I came here to complete some unfinished business. But clearly, you are going to ignore me just like before. It looks like he is about to argue when the front door of the office slams open again, drawing both our attention for a split second. Oh my goddess, Riven, it's you. I can't believe this. I missed you so much. I turned, only to collide with Emma's body, who literally knocked me over while squeezing me to death. I missed you too, Ems. I really did. The only reason I came back, because I couldn't say goodbye to you properly. What do you mean you couldn't say goodbye to me before? You're not leaving again, are you? She asked while hugging me. I sighed before pulling away from her. I don't want to lie to you, just to make you feel better. I will leave once I'm done talking to your Alpha. But what happened to you, Emma? Why do you look so thin? It seems as if you are not taking care of yourself properly. Her expression took a full 360-degree turn, from happy to sad, to tears in her eyes. Hey, what's wrong? Please tell me that Lorcan didn't cheat on you too, I asked her. The only goddess knows if by any chance she's hurt because of any of these two. I am going to freeze them under the ground, and I am going to grow a garden full of black roses on their graves. What do you mean he didn't cheat on you too? Zayden interrupted. He's my brother. He would never do that. He loves Emma more than his own life. Zayden defended his brother. You are right. He can never cheat on her, but someone else can. I spat those words towards him so that he can drop his act of being innocent. Or I swear I am going to burn something. Emma, I'll catch up with you later. Could you please give us a moment? I need to talk to him. Promise me you won't leave without meeting me, she said. Okay, I promise. Throwing one last look at me and Zayden, she nods her head at me and left. So, you were living with those mutts that are no better than rogues. Here we all were searching for you, he says with a broken expression on his face. You don't have to pretend, Zayden. I saw you, and you dare talk about them
like they are trash. I tell him. He thinks he can fool me again. His face contorts in confusion as he looks at me. I must say, he's a good actor. He's still pretending that he never cheated on us, I said to Rhea. You're right. Do you remember when we first met? He never gave me a chance to connect with his wolf, but now it's like his wolf is crying and calling out for us, Rhea said. Now I'm really confused. Wolves never lie to their mates. They can ignore us, control us, or directly reject us, but they can never lie to us. But their humans can lie, pretend, or hurt us. Remember that. Even before, it was Zayden who hurt us. Rhea reminded me. Riven, I don't understand. He starts to step towards me, but I put up my hand to stop him again. Don't you dare come any closer to me, I tell him. He halts mid-stride as he catches the fire I had for him in my eyes. Why did you leave? What happened? He asks me. Before or after? I ask him with anger in my voice. To answer both of your questions, I have only 2 words. A lot. A lot has happened in the last year. Everything was going smoothly between us. We were finally getting along then. I cut him off again. Yes, we were finally getting along. I was trying to be a good Luna. For your pack, just like you wanted, until I found out that you are a two-faced, ugly pig.
Zayden's POV. I stand there, perplexed, as she looks at me with the same fire in her eyes that I saw in her when we first met. She loved doing the things that annoyed me, but deep down, I enjoyed it. I used to enjoy our fights, especially the look of anger that goes over her face when she hears me call her a little mate. She is anything but. That's why, sometimes knowingly, I used to push her buttons, and sometimes mistakenly too hard, so that I can witness the same look again in those eyes that are capable of holding a great storm in them. It was too late when I realized that how much I needed her. The idea of her leaving me again feels like someone's twisting a knife in my chest. So, many nights, I prayed to the goddess of her return so that I can repent for the mistakes I've made. I am not an emotional person. I became stone cold when my mother died. I witnessed the condition of my father when she died. Sadness, hurt, anger, rage, wild. He became a killing machina and almost killed my brother Tuify, and the warriors hadn't stopped him from doing so. I never wanted to become that person. That's why I decided that I will never love anyone. My priority will only be my pack and my own family. Yes, I intended to find my mate as soon as possible so that she can take care of the pack. I never wanted her for myself. But I fucked up big time. What I wanted was a compliant Luna to keep my pack safe. What I got was a woman that defies and challenged me. A woman I was falling for. It was hard to keep my emotions in control when I am around her. Every emotion that I buried inside me when I buried my mother came back with full force, that sometimes I lost control. But the look in her eyes also tells me that she doesn't want to do anything with me anymore. Why? What did I do? I am not staying away from her anymore, but instead, I cross over to her in confident strides. I can't keep away from her, especially when I am looking at her after an entire year. I want to touch her skin, to feel those sparks of pleasure again. I want to run my fingers in her hair. Her hair looks different, but the color suits her. She's perfect. If I am such an ugly, two-faced pig, then why are you here? I speak in a low voice, but loud enough so that she can hear. I want answers, Alpha Zayden, she says confidently, matching my gaze. Is that so, little mate? What kind of answers do you want? I move even closer, her body almost touching mine. She swallows, but stood her ground. Another reason to love her. Many women have wanted to be this close to me, and the one I want is trying to run away from me, fighting me, but not submitting to me. I want to. Why'd you cheated on me? She replies. I will go back soon after gone. She's not going anywhere. A wild, possessive side unearths inside me, and a passion I have never felt before drowns me. I push her body towards mine. When she's this close, I cannot think straight. Scratch that. I can barely breathe, let alone think. You are not leaving me again, Riven. I am not losing you again. I growl. To lose something, you must have it in the first place, she mumbles. But I do have you, right here in my arms. This is where you belong. I lean and sniff her neck. Her body goes stiff, and she tries to push me, but I held her even more tightly. Zayden, leave me. Make me. This time her shove is more forceful, and I back away in shock. I don't belong to you anymore, Zayden. I rejected you, she yelled, and I never accepted your rejection. I gave you a chance to reject me before, and I told you that I won't let you leave after that. I don't care. If you never wanted me to leave, then why did you cheat on me? You are nothing but a weir. I never cheated on you. What are you talking about? Are you really going to pretend now? I must say, your acting skills are really good. Don't speak in riddles, Riven. I never cheated on you. I saw you, Alpha. Zayden. I felt that pain when you were screwing with someone else. It felt worse when I saw you flirting with her in front of the entire pack, when I was there sitting right beside you. You always ignored me like a black, but you were ready to that way. You never respected me. You never trusted me. You never loved me as a mate should. And now, you're acting as if nothing happened. She yelled in anger. Her nostrils flared, and her chest is heaving. Her hands are in fists, and her whole body is shaking. My mate is distraught. I move towards her and reach out to touch her shoulder. I told you. She looks at me, and her eyes have gone even darker. Do not touch me without my permission. I watch as she tries to calm herself, and I just stand there like an idiot. An idiot who's trying to process what his mate has just said. She thinks we cheated on her. But why? Enra roars.
Riven's POV. I am angry and freaking confused. He had no right to do what he did, to sniff me like that, to hold me, or even look at me with those eyes of his so deeply and lure me in. He has no right to treat the situation as if we are in as a normal one, as if I am not here because he cheated on me. He didn't deny that he cheated on me. He is pretending that nothing happened. He didn't even apologize. And this single thought alone is making me lose my mind. I am constantly trying to stay calm, but he's pushing me as if he's enjoying that I am in this state. He's looking at me as if he's seeing the world's most precious gem. And for once, my heart wants to believe those eyes, but my brain is playing the same series of pictures in my mind like a reel, when he cheated on me, when he flirted with her. So, you accept that you cheated on me? Sorry, what? Why, Zayden? Riven, it's not like that. He argued. Really now? Alpha Zayden, I think you have nothing to say. I lift my head to look straight into his eyes. Thank you, Alpha. You didn't said anything that proves you've got anything to say in your defense. And being the ruthless, stubborn Alpha you, I know you are not going to apologize. But my heart still wanted to give you a chance to explain everything. But I guess we are done here. Goodbye, Alpha Zayden. I hope I never see your face again. Wait, Riven. He tried to stop me, but join me, and we all just walk out of the pack house towards our car, but not before saying goodbye to Emma, and this time properly. I know she's not happy, but at least this time, I am leaving because I am at peace. Next stop is going to be my parents' pack. Apparently, they need to answer some questions too. But the boys wanted to take some rest before that, so we all drove to a neutral territory near the pack. We rented a cottage to stay for the night.
Home, sweet home, Liam cheered happily, not caring if the entire world had just heard him. Walking into the fire, he immediately dropped his bags. Do you have to yell like that? We are not deaf, and you are starting to give me a headache. Kyle groaned, rubbing his head dramatically, as if someone was pounding away at his head with the hammer. I rolled my eyes at his words. Having dealt with it for a while now, I know he's trying to get on the nerves of his brother. Riven, say something to him. Liam pouted like a child. I am sorry, Liam, but I am with Kyle on this one. I raised my hands in a surrender motion when he playfully glared at me. You traitor, Liam gasped dramatically. I huffed, crossing my arms over my chest. Last Saturday, who saved you from punishment? Liam, Oh, right. That was me, I replied. Oh, my goddess girl. You just turned feisty after meeting with that stupid Alpha. I am with Liam. On this have mercy on us. Only we know what you're truly capable of. Cole teased with a sly smirk. Well, you should keep in mind that I can unleash my wrath upon you if you don't stay on my good side. I stated with a smirk, trying to seem innocent as I continued. As for now, though, I'll just do this. I smirked happily when he was suddenly freezed in air. I burst out laughing at the sour face he had in this position. Come on, Riven. Leave the poor guy alone. He's already angry. Angry? Why? You should ask him. While I am off to bed. Good night, Liam said. I snapped my fingers and released Cole. I wanted to ask him why he was angry, but he didn't give me a chance to and left instantly. One by one, everyone left, leaving me alone in the living room. I went into the kitchen and grabbed a glass, then filled it with water, thinking about how tomorrow was going to go down. I have so many questions that I need to ask from my parents. I am not sure how are they going to react when they get to know that I rejected my mate. I shook my head, knowing that I was overthinking everything right now. I was making myself worried over nothing. Well, not nothing, but that's besides the point. It was already past 8, but I continued to feel anxious and decided a run would be good for me. I quickly ran up the stairs and told Kyle through the door, not needing to walk in on anything again. He said, "All right," and reminded me to be careful. Walking outside, I dropped over to a large tree and stripped of my clothes. I placed them neatly by the tree before shifting into my wolf. I shook my fur out, enjoying the feeling of being in my true form. I hardly ever got to stay like this, as it was too dangerous regardless of where I was. In Packless, it was different. I didn't hide myself from them. I practiced most of the time in my wolf form. It also made Rhea stronger. Turns out it's good for me to let my wolf out more often. I stretched out my limbs before finally taking off, not caring how long I had been running or to where I was even going. I only stopped, though, when the sound of running water came into the earshot. I walked closer to the sound before seeing a river and began following it. Soon enough, I reached a beautiful lake, the moonlight glistening off of the water and adding the permanent perfect amount of light to cast a beautiful evening. I thought of adding something more to its beauty. I put my paws flat on the ground
and concentrated on the energy stored under the ground. Soon, beautiful flowers started to grow. And just like I imagined, the sight looked so serene and beautiful. I walked closer to the flowers, observing them happily and just enjoying this moment. No responsibilities, just complete freedom to be me. After a while, I decided it was best that I start heading back, though immediately stopped as the hairs on the back of my neck stood. I lowered myself to the ground, ready to lunge at anyone or anything wanting to attack. I listened closely, trying to find what was out there, but there was nothing. No movements, no sounds. It was silent, but still I could feel that something was here, or maybe someone, watching me. I decided to make my way back, still keeping my guard up in case whatever it was decided now was the time to strike. Cautiously, I began walking home, still feeling the presence near me. I tried sniffing the air a few times, but kept coming up short until I finally got a whiff. It was unmistakably the same scent that I like and despise at the same time. Xaden.